Yeah, Mike, we just, all week we kind of had some players that we had targeted. If they fell close enough to us, we'd go get, and that was the case with Mims and Sanders and we just, and I'm sorry, Mims and Riley Moss. We just didn't want to lose those players, and so we didn't lose any picks this year. We still stayed with our 5, and we just felt they were, really good value for where we took them, and that's why we moved up and got them.
Both of you, it seemed as though position versatility was a theme with all 3 of your picks, and I'm wondering if that's by design or if it's especially important given your dearth of picks this season.
I think I would say this. One of the things we talk about all during the process of the evaluation is, and it's with the scouts and then with the coaches, what's our vision? And so I think George and I both have a similar background relative to, and we want to draft the best football players, especially when there's a magnet that sits north of the others. And I say magnet, we're using video, but it's easier to. And so we said this in the pre-draft conference, when you're projecting all these mocks with 2 3s, there's so many variables, and the spray gets wider the further you get into the draft. So here we are, and we're getting closer and closer, and we reiterate the vision. We hear the scout talk again. We hear the coach talk again. George and I look at each other, and there's a clear vision for the receiver. His traits, he's got return skills, character makeup, smart. He's someone that can play at Z, can play at X. He brings an element of speed you can feel on tape. I think like that vision around the room there was no gray area relative to what we saw. And I think honestly, Sanders' vision might be one in which varied around the league because he's a transfer from Alabama. He's played some outside backer. He's played some inside linebacker. He had a ton of pressure production last year. Our vision for him is an inside linebacker, 4-core special teams player who can go and, stem down to the outside. We saw so many good traits with him and such good production. That too was shared. But again, in the process, you kind of go through it and make sure, like George and I know exactly what the vision is, but it's important to articulate it in the room. There's no surprises. And then obviously with the last player, there was a clear vision for him and its corner.